Okay, so just so everybody understands, you guys don't have class for a week. You guys have the whole next week off, right? The week after that should be a normal week. Should be class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I won't be here that whole time. My son has surgery the following. That's a reserve week, and then my son has surgery the following Monday, which is going to be a long surgery. He's having 6 different things done, and so I may be here Tuesday. Depends on how he is, okay? So, I mean, I'll definitely be here that Thursday, but I don't know I'll be here Tuesday. It's way more than enough time for this project, okay? It's way more, probably too much time. I may even add, I will add at some point on there a CPU quiz that's kind of like the one you had on motherboards, okay? That's, hey, a lesson check. Because when we get back, pretty much I plan on us doing the CPU presentations the day I get back. Plan on that being that Tuesday. Okay, they're due to be uploaded by that Tuesday, so I should go ahead and put the date in here. Which means I have to go back to my which would be, let's look at the calendar here. That's the week I'm gone. That'd be the 8th. Okay, so this project, plan on presenting that project on December 8th. So I'll go ahead and put that in so it shows up on the due date. And last year it was December 9th, so that's pretty much right on schedule with where we were last year. Yes, okay. So there, that should be on that calendar now. Okay, so plan on presenting that. That means that you should come in with it already uploaded, not uploading that morning. Okay, already uploaded. And it means you should come in with your rubric. Here's the rubric. Oh, wrong click. That's the wrong one. Here's the rubric. You should come in with that already printed out and graded when you come in to present. Okay? Now, if I'm not here, if something else happens, we'll have to be flexible on that. But at some point, you're also going to see down here in the sub will get an email, and I'll email you guys on it too. A chapter 4. It'll say CPU practice quiz, just like the other, okay? And just like this one, if you haven't, you should have. If you don't have 100 on it, I expect you to retake that quiz. It's open. You can take it. I think it says every 6 hours. Just means you can take it. There's going to be a break in there for you to process a little bit, okay? I also added, we went last class, Brooke, over the motherboard a lot, so I found one of the better pictures of all the parts of a motherboard to throw up there as well. Okay, so you have a labeled one to look at, and we talked last class about how this is part of the process of doing a research project that I really wanted you guys, when you didn't know stuff, to look it up. And it was easy Google, so motherboard labeled, and it came right up. And this was the best one. It's obviously an AMD socket on this one, but that's the only difference, whether you have a PGA or an LGA socket. So I put that picture up there too. So you guys will be working on this. The intent, again, is that you don't just do a PowerPoint slide presentation. That is not the assignment, although that's the output that you get. The assignment is to learn about processors, okay, and about the available processors out there. So on this project, you now are a representative of either Intel or AMD, depending on which one you were assigned a socket for on the motherboard project. So AMD was, who was AMD? Michelle? Are you AMD? Okay. So Michelle's the only one who's going to do the AMD Corporation, and you two are going to do the Intel Corporation. So just like that one, I am from Intel. Our headquarters is in California. Our product is you're representing the company, okay? So you're a sales rep from either Intel or AMD, and I already said that based on the socket type. Presentation time should be somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, and that's 5 and 10 minutes without interruption. Obviously, they went over 30 minutes last time, right? Because I was stopping and asking you questions. So when you practice your presentation, which you should practice it once, do it in front of your mom and dad with your laptop, or in front of your best friend, or in front of your cat, I don't care, but you should practice it at least once and see, does it come out between 5 and 10 minutes, okay? So, you're presenting 2 different CPUs from your manufacturer You need to cover who the manufacturer is, tell us what you can about the CPUs. Okay, so you're going to present us the fastest CPU for your gaming motherboard and the cheapest one for your home, not necessarily in that order, doesn't matter which one it's in. Okay, so hi, I'm here today from AMD Corporation to present you our least expensive option. Don't use the word cheap. Cheap's a bad word to use if you're trying to sell something. Our least expensive option for you, or our most price-conscious point option for you for the LGA blah 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 motherboard, whatever it is. Okay, or I'm here to give you our most responsive, highest-end gaming CPU for blah 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 motherboard. Okay, so and then you're going to tell us all you can about that CPU. So you're going to give us an introduction to the company, give us that motherboard slide, or an updated version of it if it wasn't a very good one, saying that the motherboard is a Asus whatever, which has a whatever socket supporting the following CPUs. And of those CPUs, we chose this socket, the AM2 Plus, specifically the FX240, I don't know all the processors off the top of my head, CPU to be your least expensive, best price point option. And then, so you've told us the motherboard, you told us what the motherboard supports, and the next slide, you go into the specifics of the CPU. Okay. So on the CPU, from the lesson, we already know that there's three things that really define the speed of CPU, right? Do you remember what those three things are? Give me one, Lane.
Just the speed.
Okay, so oh gosh, it's right there on the slide in front of me. Okay, so the first one that most people know is the clock speed of the processor, normally given in gigahertz anymore. Used to be a megahertz thing, but they're way faster now, so it's normally given in gigahertz, and that's what people usually see on a CPU. I've got a 4.0 gigahertz CPU. Okay, that's only 1/3 of the equation. So what's another one? What? Another one off of our lesson that we did, or off the slide right behind me. Okay, cache. How much cache the thing has, or how much memory comes with the processor. So if we're looking right there, CPU speed and the cache, how much L1, L2, and L3 come on the processor. Because we talked about the other day, actually 3 classes ago, I guess, and it says in the lesson that the amount of memory it has on the processor determines how often it has to go out to the system RAM. The less often it has to go to the system RAM, the more effective the CPU is. We talked about what the difference between L1, L2, and L3 cache is. If you don't remember that, it's in the lesson, and we talked about it the other day too, so make sure you understand that. And then the third one is down here. Let's see, number of processors. Okay, they're not in order of the most important two. So the three things, clock speed, cache, and number of processors on the die, those are the three things that say the overall speed of our CPU. What bus speeds it goes with, in other words, what motherboards it goes with. This may or may not be something that's listed on AMD or Intel's thing. Okay, so it's going to be one of those things that if it's not listed on the site, you couldn't find it, then you're not going to get loose points for it. Okay, socket type obviously is going to be listed. Number of processors, and I have clock speed twice on there. I don't know why I need to edit that, but I'm going to edit it right now because obviously that shouldn't have been on there. In fact, I'm going to do another thing too. So update. So I've got 2 things that say clock speed. I'm going to put that's not okay. Anything else worth noting that you found out while researching the week? Okay, so there is definitely other stuff on there. You're going to see what the wattage of the processor is. Is this a processor that sucks up tons of power, or is it specifically made to be a green processor that uses less power on your motherboard? Okay. In fact, I should probably have had that. I might add that on there, that the wattage, because almost all of them are going to show that. Obviously, how much it costs again, with a clickable link that takes you to the website. Okay. Okay. With a tested and active link to the site. Yes, I want you to do a screen capture to hold somewhere else just in case the price changed, so that you can go, it's $29.99, you click on it, it goes $49.99. No, it was $29 when I did the research. And you can show us that slide later. You don't need to take us to it right away. Or you can have a little picture of the slide that you captured, and that's the link. That's okay too. as long as you've got a way to get to it. So if you wanted to say it's $29.99, you've got a little screenshot of it at $29.99, they click on it, and it goes, and then it says $49, well, you already showed us that it works, okay? So, and obviously a works cited slide at the end. This is a relatively short presentation, which doesn't mean it's going to be a relatively short research, because there's so many processors out there for a given CPU. So when I go down here, that's the assignment. There's an that's the assignment. There's a click here with some more CPU information, some other things I recorded with some web links down here that you're going to want to go and take a look at. One on understanding cache, comparing the CPUs, and this CPU comparison one is a benchmark site that if I go to that, there we go. It has a comparison of the different CPUs and what their score is. It's kind of like that other one we looked at. Their score is on what they think based on this comparison. It doesn't mean it's 100% correct for every piece of software. But based on this comparison, they found on this date, there could be a new one past then. See, this is 2013 too. Let's go back and see if there's a CPU chart 2015. In fact, I'm going to change my link right now, so that goes to a better spot. I don't get to edit on that. That was right. That's right. Interesting CPU comparison chart right there. Okay. So then you can go into the CPU charts for 2015, and you can go to the benchmark there, and then you can see what, based on their analysis, I should specifically say you can't go first block, because that's supposed to be a detention angle. So that means you didn't charge your laptop. You've been here for 13 minutes in class, right? Anyway. Huh?
He comes in here every day and gets one. It's the same person.
I'm going to have to lock the door this time, or make note of it. Okay, so in this one, it's saying this Intel Core i7 40, and I think this is all Intels on here, and you have to go to a separate chart to go to see the AMDs. The fastest AMD it's saying is far slower than the fastest. It's 98.46. I don't know what the score chart is on this one, but it's almost double for this one. Okay, so those charts are up there for you guys to refer to as well, and those are things that you can use to back up. You can take screenshots and put them in your presentation. So when you go and say, I've got the fastest gamer one, and look how much my faster mine is than the competition on there too, because you're trying to sell it to us. So that's the kind of thing that you want to look at. And then when you go and look at all the things you have available, you might want to start at Intel's site and say, okay, mine takes what generation? Mine takes a fourth generation i5 processor. That's the fastest. So I want to go there and see what those are, and then I can look from here, and those are all of the processors just for a fourth generation i5. That's why I'm saying you're going to spend a little more time searching on this one. Once you've identified that this is the fastest one that goes in my, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You have to refer back to the last chart, right? This just is all of them. But let's say, and this is not the right way to do it, but I'm going to look at price and say which one's the most expensive, and it is this one right here. Let's see, 4670, 6 mega cache, 6 mega cache, 3.8, 3.8. What is the difference between those two? It looks like it's exactly the same processor. This is the 4670K, and this is the 4670. So we've got those in compare, and then what do we hit? We'll hit them to see the comparison. I'm looking for a button. What do you think I'm hitting next to see the comparison? Well, that's to compare them all.
Oh, I got the like in the middle, it's a
Oh, that right there. How do I undo? There we go. Okay, so I want to just compare these two. Okay. So then I can go up here and I get really the slide that the information that you're gonna put on your slide, right? So I've got, I don't really care about the launch date. There's the processor number. Cache is the same. Bus type, system bus speed goes to 8 gigatransfers per second, which is how they're rating them now. Both 64-bit. I'm still looking for a difference here. Other than the price, I see a difference in price. Memory types, and this is when I'm talking about system bus speeds. This is really what I'm getting down to. What memory does this one support? So that's the system bus speed that the CPU really supports. It's saying that when I put this in a motherboard, I'm going to support a motherboard that does 1333 or 1600 unoverclocked. Obviously, it could overclock it much faster than that. So really, the motherboard is 1600. That's the bus speed that it's supporting, if I want to interpolate from here. So those are the speeds that this one supports. They both support the same thing. I'm still looking for a difference between these two, other than price. This includes the video graphics, right? Okay, this is one of those ones that has graphics included on it. So it supports all these resolutions, all these feature sets. So what the size of the card that oh wait, here we go. This one includes Intel Pro technology. What does that mean? I don't know, but I'll get a little thing that I can click on. Intel Pro technology is a set of security management capabilities built into the processor aimed at addressing the 4 critical addresses of threat management, including protection from rootkits, viruses, and malware identity. So it's got a built-in virus checker in the CPU. So that's new to me. Intel virtualization technology, I do know what that is. So if you were going to use this on a virtual machine, it's made to help improve performance on virtual machines. Stable image platform. Help your company identify and deploy scenario stable image PC platforms. Trusted execution technology.
I feel like they make funny names for this stuff just to sound special.
Yeah, they do. But here's the thing that I don't understand. So this one has more stuff, and yet it's the least expensive one. Yes, everyone's here.
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
Oh, who's calling?
This is Sydney.
Yeah.
Hey, Anna we're struggling here this morning. Sorry.
Okay, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to help you after my class. It's a short class, and I'm going for the next week and a half. I'll call you afterwards. Okay, so between these two, I've got this one and this one at exact same speeds. This one has some advanced feature sets. So if I was between those two and I'm trying to present the best one for this motherboard, I've just identified that maybe this one is the one I'm going to do. Now, I need to go out and find where I can buy that processor. So I can go and then just search for that processor. And obviously I've oversimplified the process. You're going to look. It's going to take a little while to look at your motherboard, identify which ones, go out and find which one's fastest. But once you've identified it, all the information is right there. Then I'm just down to, I didn't go to a sales site. But here again is all the information that we just looked at. I meant to go to Amazon or something. There we go, Newegg. So. And identify how much this one costs. So this one, if that was the price of yours, $229, which is about what it had on that side. It had a range, and that's right in the middle of the range. And then you'd build your PowerPoint for that particular one. So you're going to start your PowerPoint with company background stuff. You're going to spend it probably half to 3/4 of the class just doing all the background on the company. Normal company background, where is it? How long has it been in business? What kind of products do they support? How big are they? You're going to see Intel obviously is far bigger than AMD. It's been in the business of making CPUs longer, but AMD makes some really nice CPUs too. And we have those on all of our server class machines. We've got 8-core systems on our server class ones. I'm gonna have to call Cindy back and find out exactly what is going on down there. But so those are the things you're going to be doing research on them and building that. But you're going to have way more than enough time. Normally, I would not be going this long to do this, but with Luke's surgery and everything afterwards, which is why I'm going to build a quiz in there. And again, if you don't have 100 on there, it is a graded item, even though it's a formative graded item. I would take it again until you get 100 on there. And if you have time during those classes, since third quarter is not over, Chapter 3, I'm going to go back and revisit this. Remember, you had the option, if you wanted to redo the Chapter 3 test, of doing these 4 independent lessons and retaking the Chapter 3 test. So if you want to bring up your grade, you have to do these 3 independent lessons to review instead of coming in for interventions. And then after you've done those, and I have a completed grade in those, I'll just open the test up and email you the password again. So I can do that while I'm gone as well. Okay? But once we get done with the quarter's over. But you have to do, instead of, remember, I don't know if you guys remember because nobody's done it, but instead of doing 4 interventions, I made these 4 blended learning lessons. You just have to do those 4. They're not necessarily as long as an intervention. Okay? I'm going to call and see what they needed from the office real fast since I just kind of hung up my review and said, does anybody have any questions on where we're going from here and what you guys are doing for the next couple weeks? Okay, well, I'm going to stop this. Brooke, you really need